Fawkes Day. What is bonfire night? Remember the 5th of November. Gunpowder, treason and plot. We know those reasons why gunpowder treason should never ever be forget. Traditional UK nursery rhyme. On November 5 every year, adults and children in the United Kingdom gather together for fireworks at bonfires. Friends and families cheer as a dummy, called a guy, on the fire bursts into flames. This traditional festival is known as Guy Fawkes Day or Bonfire Night. Guy Fawkes Day celebrates a day in 1605 when King James I and his ministers stopped a plot that would have blown up Parliament. Who was Guy Fawkes? Guy Fawkes was born in 1570 in York, England. During the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. At that time in Europe, many Catholic and Protestant countries were at war due to power struggles between the two religions. During Elizabeth's reign, the Catholic religion was illegal in England. Catholics who were caught practicing their religion were often fined or killed. Guy's parents were Protestants. His grandparents, however, were Catholic. When Guy's father died, his mother then married a Catholic. When he was a teenager, Guy decided to convert the Catholic system. In his early 20s, Fawkes left England. He traveled to the Netherlands to join the Catholic Spanish army in their fight against the Dutch Protestants. Fawkes served as a soldier in the Spanish army for 12 years and became an explosives expert. The Gunpowder Plot. When Queen Elizabeth I died in 1603, his successor, King James I, claimed he would offer more acceptance to Catholics. Instead, he passed even harsher laws against them. Many English Catholics had remained loyal to the king. However, Fawkes met other Englishmen in the Spanish army who were angry as he was about the violence against Catholics in England. In 1603, Fawkes went to Spain to inform the Spanish king about the plight of the Catholics in England, but the king refused to take action. Spain and England already had a long history of military conflict they had recently agreed to end. Meanwhile, in England, a man named Robert Catesby had begun to plan a revolt against King James I. Catesby recruited his cousin Thomas Winter in April 1604. They invited Fawkes to join them. And he and Fawkes' expertise with using gunpowder to make explosives. Fawkes did not hesitate. Back in London in May 1604, Fawkes met with other conspirators at a local inn. They took an oath of secrecy. Although many women, such as Anne Fawkes, were part of the movement, only men were involved in this plot. The conspirators ended up to blow up Parliament on the day of the open ceremony. All the ministers and king would be in attendance. The plotters would then install King James' daughter, Princess Elizabeth, on the throne. Elizabeth was only 9 years old, and they believed that if they raised her Catholic, they could influence her region. 13 conspirators in total were sworn into the plot. Robert Catesby had a house in Lambeth, just above the River Thames from Parliament. The peace between Spain and England meant there was a surplus of gunpowder. The plotters purchased 36 barrels of gunpowder and stored them in Catesby's house. One of the plotters, Thomas Percy, got a job as a royal bodyguard. He moved to a house near Parliament, and by chance he heard that a cellar beneath the building of Parliament was available to rent. By night, the conspirators transported the gunpowder in a rowboat across the Thames from Catesby House to the cellar. Guy Fawkes assumed a false identity and called himself John Johnson. Posing as servants of Thomas Percy, he could move freely inside buildings of Parliament without raising suspicion. His job was to take care of 36 barrels of gunpowder under coal and firewood in the basement. The opening Parliament would be set for November 5th, 1605. The plotters were ready. Caught! A few days before the opening of Parliament, Lord Montagu, a Catholic nobleman loyal to the king, received an anonymous letter. The letter warned him not to attend Parliament on November 5 because something terrible was going to happen. Lord Montagu showed the letter to the king first aid. After he was informed of the plot, the king orders a complete search of Parliament. The search party found a large amount of firewood in the cellar, and a second search was ordered. This time found Fawkes in the basement with fuses and matches he was hiding. They searched the cellar more truthfully and finally discovered the 36 barrels of gunpowder. The guards had caught Guy Fawkes red-handed. Fawkes tried to fight his captors until time up and took him to the king's chambers for questioning. While told king guards that he had tried to blow up both the king and Parliament, he insisted that he had acted alone and told the king he was only sorry that the plot had failed. Fawkes was imprisoned in the Tower of London. There is no proof of exactly what he endured while in prison, but by November 9, Fawkes had signed his name on his final confession. By then, he had revealed the details of the rebellion and the names of his fellow plotters. On the morning of November 5, word of Fawkes' arrest had gone back to the plotters. Robert Catesby and several conspirators were determined to continue their plan to lead a rebellion against the government. Catesby's small band of rebels stole horses at Wackett Castle, but the authorities pursued them. On November 8, the king's forces surrounded the rebels. They fatally wounded Robert Catesby and 3 others and imprisoned the rest of men in the Tower of London. The English courts tried all 8 surviving plots for treason and sentenced each traitor to death. In January 1606, Guy Fawkes and 3 of his fellow plotters were taken to a yard outside Parliament to be executed. The harshness of their punishment was a warning to anyone else who might have been plotting treason. Another conspiracy. So he first suggested that the gunpowder plot was an inside job, a plot by the king's own minister to convince him to make even harsher anti-Catholic laws. In the version of events, it may have been the king's chief minister who drafted a warning letter to Lord Montagu. Otherwise, how could the plotters have carried out their work right under the nose of the king's guard? Would the plotters use scapegoats to raise support for the unpopular king? There's no clear proof for this theory, but the discovery of the gunpowder plot brought the public relief that the king's life had been saved. The king announced that survival was a miracle and proof of his divine right to the throne. Parliament passed a law that same year to make November 5 an official annual day of celebration. This made an unpopular king someone to celebrate instead. The legacy of the plot. The holiday was first known as Gunpowder Treason Day. Records from times show that people rang church bells and lit bonfires. In England, the burning dummies of popular figures on bonfires was already a popular activity. People believed that doing this would drive away evil spirits. On November 5, people began to burn the dummy of Guy Fawkes on top of the bonfire. Bonfire parties. Some part of Britain have kept their own traditions when it comes to bonfire night. Lewis in South England had bonfire societies that date back to 1659. The participants wear elaborate costumes and carry torches to the streets. In some towns, egg geese, the famous people who are unpopular in the public today, are burned rather than traditional Guy Fawkes. In the late 19th century, spectacular firework displays and torchlit processions in towns and cities have become very popular. The processions led to where the bonfire and firework displays were held. Today, the bonfires are usually organized by local charities or monarchical organizations. Conclusion: Guy Fawkes Day has celebrated the failure of a gunpowder plot to kill the King of England over 400 years ago. Today, millions of people in the United Kingdom still enjoy bonfires and fireworks on November 5. But some people see Guy Fawkes as a person who stood up for what he believed and fought against oppression. Some fiery facts. Once a year, gods traditionally search the Houses of Parliament for a state opening of Parliament. They make sure there will be no plotters, hating, and stealers. Scientists from the Institute of Physics have calculated that 2,500 kilograms of gunpowder hidden by conspirators could have caused damage about 490 meters from the center of the explosion. Guy Fawkes has an island in the Galapagos Islands, Ecuador, named after him, called Isla Guy Fawkes. Bye.